Hi everyone, we are the Team 16 named Avengers. We will introduce the German female politician Angela Merkel in this presentation. Grant, Hannah, Vania, Chloe, and me, Jinny, will announce in the order.
Good day, everyone. The leader we have chosen is Angela Merkel, and to start off with a brief biography. Angela Merkel was born July 17th, 1954, in Hamburg, West Germany. She was a German politician who in 2005 became the first female chancellor of Germany. She earned a diploma in physics in 1978 from Colmax University and then went on to work as a member of the academic faculty at the Central Institute of Physical Chemistry. In 1986, she was awarded a doctorate for her thesis on quantum chemistry and worked as a research scientist until 1989. She then joined the CDU, which is the Christian Democratic Union, in 1990 with the fall of the Berlin Wall. In 1991, Merkel was appointed as the Minister for Women and Youth by Chancellor Helmut Kohl and later became the Minister of Environment, Nature Conservation and Nuclear Safety in 1994. In 1999, Merkel criticized her former mentor in a public announcement and turned against her mentor and Chancellor at the time, Helmut Kohl, and advocated for a fresh start to the CDU party without him. This came about when there was a scandal for the party funding, which made national news and was a big event. This was a major turn in her political career and valued by the public in the way that she openly spoke about it. She served as the leader of the Christian Democratic Union, which is the CDU, from 2000 to 2018. As a member of the CDU, as I said, Merkel became the first female Chancellor of Germany in 2005 and would end up serving 4 terms as the Chancellor of Germany. During this time, she's had to deal with some major events and has been commended on how well she's had to deal with them and how well she's dealt with them. With regards to her foreign policy, Merkel has always emphasized international cooperation, both with the context of the European Union and NATO, and has very much been for strengthening transatlantic economic relations. In 2008, she served as the president of the European Council and played a central role in the negotiation of the Treaty of Lisbon and the Berlin Declaration. During her first term as Chancellor, Merkel played a crucial role in the global financial crisis in 2007-2008 and the European debt crisis at the same time, and negotiated the 2008 European Union stimulus plan, which focused on infrastructure spending and public investment to try and counteract the Great Recession. Her domestic policy has also been incredibly good, and she's had programs focused on future energy development, seeking to try and phase out all nuclear power in Germany, reduce the greenhouse gas emissions, and an increase on renewable energy sources. During her second term, which was from 2009 to 2013, she was applauded on how well she handled and dealt with the response of the 2010s European migrant crisis, and of late, she has been praised on how well she's handled the COVID-19 pandemic in Germany. Merkel served on the G7 in 2011 and 2012 and became a senior G7 leader in 2014. She has also become the longest serving head of government in the European Union. Some big news in 2018, Merkel announced that she will stand down as the leader of the CDU and will not be running for a 5th term as the Chancellor of Germany in the 2021 federal election. During her time as the Chancellor of Germany, Merkel has often or frequently been referred to as the de facto leader of the European Union and is considered the most powerful woman in the world.
Angela Merkel grew up in East Germany as a Lutheran pastor's daughter. This would be difficult for her as this was a communist regime that she was growing up in, and religion would not be encouraged. Many people believe that this helped her develop into the resilient and compassionate leader that she eventually became, and it also taught her how to stand up for her beliefs. The first challenge of her political career was when her mentor, Helmut Kohl, was implicated in a financial scandal of the Christian Democratic Union by accepting and using illegal campaign contributions. Angela Merkel had to make a decision whether or not she would stand by her former mentor or choose to go her own way. Not only did she choose to separate herself from him, but she wrote an open letter to her party asking them to make a fresh start without Helmut Kohl. This was a big deal as they were so close she had even been nicknamed Kohl's Girl. But ultimately, this helped her evolve as a leader as it gained her favor with the public, and it led to her being elected head of the Christian Democratic Union. Of course, she still had to face challenges in that role as she was now the first non-Catholic and the first woman to lead the party. And not only that, but she had to deal with the lingering effects of the financial scandal. She did further evolve as a leader, though, when years later she chose to cooperate with Helmut Kohl because she realized that she could benefit from the years of his experience as a politician. Another challenge of her political career was during her time as Chancellor of Germany. In 2015, the world had a migrant crisis when many refugees from Afghanistan and Syria were seeking asylum. So countries all over the world either closed their borders or limited the number of refugees that they could handle, whereas Angela Merkel took the complete opposite stance and said that as long as they could, they would keep their borders open and accept as many refugees as possible. In 1 year, they actually accepted over 1 million migrants into Germany. And she faced serious backlash for this political policy, and her own reputation and her party's reputation plummeted to the lowest it's been in 70 years. And this act actually spurred right-wing movements across Germany and Europe as well. Throughout the years since the policy was put in place, there's a lot of infighting in Angela Merkel's party. And ultimately, it led to her announcing that she would not be running for a fourth term and would be choosing to step down in 2021, which she has now done. But now people looking back at her time are wondering if perhaps maybe her policy was the correct one. And even Barack Obama has said that Angela Merkel was on the right side of history. Angela Merkel has a very calm and steady speech pattern to show that she is in control. And many times while male politicians might be yelling and becoming excited, people have noted that her lack of reaction is a reaction to show how level-headed and unfazed she is. She has even said that she takes the passion out of her campaigns to encourage the opposition not to see her as a threat, and in hopes that the opposition's voters won't feel compelled to go out and vote against her. Her nonverbal communication can also be quite strong, with her disapproving facial expressions that she sometimes has when she's speaking with leaders that she doesn't agree with. Of course, the most famous of these being Donald Trump. And she also has a very iconic nonverbal communication in the way that she holds her hands. It's even been nicknamed the Merkel diamond or the Merkel rhombus or the triangle of power. And it's so famous that it is now recognized and attributed to her worldwide. Now, she says she only does it and she holds her hands like this because she likes symmetry. But others think that to hold your hands in such a way, with your fingertips barely touching, you must be in control. So this helps to represent her lack of stress, and in turn, it encourages her followers to see her as a leader and to encourage them not to be stressed.
Leader and follower are a team. They help each other do the right things, building an inspiring vision and creating something new. Both positions are equally important, require responsibility and interacting with one another. The leader must help his followers grow, while the followers must contribute to the success of their leader. So we have here 10 skills a leader and members should have. First, communication, role model, readiness to take on responsibility, motivation, recognize and foster potential, tolerate mistakes, flexibility, setting goals and expectation, self-reflection, and authenticity. Communication. While communication skills are essential to everyone, leaders may need them even more. These skills are general interpersonal skills that are not leadership specific, but successful leaders demonstrate high communication skills. Role model. Leaders also act as role models to their members. This is important for the members to look up for them and to get inspired as well. They need something from their members that they don't do quickly lose credibility. Readiness to take on responsibility. A leader is a perfect person who owns and takes responsibility. However, leadership skills can also be an ability to divide tasks among each member. That way, members should be responsible enough to accept the job and complete it with the allotted time. Motivation. Motivation, inspiration, and fostering enthusiasm are essential leadership qualities because only motivated members are good followers. Recognize and foster potential. Leaders always recognize members' abilities, knowing how to use them for the team and help members develop each ability and talent to improve. Tolerate mistakes. Mistakes happen all the time, but without errors, we cannot learn anything. Therefore, a leader should also consider having a one on one conversation or group meeting to analyze the mistake and avoid the same thing in the future. Flexibility. Leaders must adjust their leadership style to every situation as it requires flexibility and intuition. Set goals and expectation. Leaders should always set realistic goals so that members have a target and be focused. No matter how good a vision is, it isn't worth anything if the plan isn't in place to turn it into a reality. Self reflection. Everyone has its strengths and weaknesses. The more you understand your abilities and the more open to them, the more successful you will be as a leader. Authenticity. Every leader has a leadership style. However, they should always have their kind of authenticity to be a successful.
Now we are moving to discuss her personality type, behaviors, and leadership style. So, according to the 16 personalities, Angela Merkel is an ISTJ whose personality traits are introverted, observant, thinking, and judging. Actually, the S would stand for sensing, but as sensors, they tend to be very observant. So, in this case, I would reverse to use the word observant to describe her. Her leadership style is realistic, precise, and ruthless. She tends to be reserved, which she mostly stays away from risky decisions and prefers to keep everything in order. When making a decision, she will always relay the facts necessary to achieve her goal and expects others to grasp the situation immediately and take action. She is self-sufficient and hardworking to meet obligations as she composes her actions carefully and carries them out with methodical purpose. She stays grounded and committed to her beliefs and ideas. She also embraces the opinions of other opponents, thus incorporating the middle ground and taking the best options of all viewpoints.
Moreover, Angela Merkel would lose patience if the course is challenged with impractical theories, especially if the challenge becomes time-consuming debates. She could become noticeably angry when deadlines approach. Everyone knows she is rigorous, and she would show little tolerance for indecisiveness. Well, according to Helga Braun, the state minister to Angela Merkel, he learned that if there's a meeting where a lot of people come together to solve problems, and if the facts or the options are not clear and they lose time, she definitely doesn't like that. So what did Angela Merkel's followers say about her? She is affectionately known as Moody Merkel or Mummy Merkel. People slept well with the knowledge that Angela Merkel would take care of everything because they believed that she was someone who really could be trusted and could lead the country. And in the eyes of German voters, Merkel represents stability, calm, steadiness, and prosperity. 16 years as German Chancellor was a long term when Angela Merkel went from low approval ratings to become the world's most powerful woman. Two men who know her well are John Complon and Volker Stanzel respectively said that she is so much not what you would expect. She has made it through her toughness and through her focus on where she's going. With the fact that she's highly concentrated, and even though those leaders who believe they too focused are not as focused as she is constantly ready to come up with another argument, and she's always willing to make a compromise. According to Volker Stanzel, he said that she is a politician who does not seem to be a politician. She's decapitated all her rivals in a party. And he believes that is a secret of her success because she surprises everybody at a moment when people don't expect.
Angela Merkel, the most powerful woman in the world, is faithful to the principles that have inspired her for 30 years. Realism, caution, flexibility, sobriety, as well as a profound knowledge of the issues at hand and a deep moral commitment to human dignity. All over the world, strongmen were seizing power by employing simplistic slogans and blaming external enemies. In clear contrast, Marco was thinking of a superior good to serve and rejecting any addiction to power. Looking at the image of her political life, I would like to highlight her positive values and respected philosophy. During her youth in East Germany, she learned to live with extreme caution and austerity under her strict pastor father. Marco chose to become a scientist, focusing on research until the year before unification when she made the leap to politics. In Berlin, she lived frugally and often went unnoticed. She acquired scientific and pragmatic approaches to problem solving as distancing the traditional elites. When Kohl, the mentor of Merkel, fell from power due to the irregular funding from the CDU, Merkel won the battle for party leadership with her honesty. After 2005, when she started her first grand coalition led by a woman, she has never been deceived by a grand strategic vision that is kind of a trap. With her strong principle, she was able to lead against adversity. Without a favorable political cycle in Europe, she preferred to listen and negotiate until the end. She put together realistic and nuanced plans to address the issues of the next day. At this point, how did she demonstrate her visions? After the 2008 global financial crisis and euro debt crisis, she showed her careful calculation and consequent scientific decision. Merkel mobilized support and resources for a bailout when debt-stricken Greece was on the verge of abandoning its common currency and potential coalition. The migration crisis has been Merkel's latest test. To address it, she abandoned at a decisive moment her incremental leadership and her transaction style. However, it was a kind of way to demonstrate her moral sense. Angela Merkel set out to defend the human dignity of refugees subject to xenophobic attacks, but also to ensure that international norms and European asylum pacts were applied. Her moral leadership was recognized by many people inside and outside her country. In conclusion, her consistent and realistic vision of all about what is possible contributed to the German government achieving many prominent achievements and making its significant growth. Do you know any interesting and quite distinctive facts about her? The interesting discovery while researching her is that Merkel is listed most influential woman. The world-renowned magazine Forbes ranked Angela Merkel number one on their 2015 list of the 100 most influential women in the world. Furthermore, she is an accomplished politician and scientist as well as an impressionist. She loves to do impressions of other world leaders, including Vladimir Putin, former French President Nicolas Sarkozy, and even former US Vice President Al Gore. Thanks for watching this presentation.